It's that time of year again. The calendar has just turned. You look at your last pay stub from the old year. You see the big number at the top, your gross income. It's a number you worked hard for, a number that represents your time, your skill, and your sacrifice. Then, your eyes drift down the page. You see the deductions: federal tax, state tax, Social Security, Medicare. Line after line, the number gets smaller and smaller. It's a feeling we all know. It's a moment of frustration. You ask yourself a simple question: where is all my money going? Imagine you're a small business owner in California, or a doctor in New York. You've built a successful career. You provide for your family. You contribute to your community. Yet it feels like nearly half of every dollar you earn is gone before you even see it. You do your part. You pay what you owe. But you can't help but wonder, is there another way? Is there a system where your hard work is rewarded more directly? A place where you can keep more of what you earn, legally and ethically? It's a powerful thought, one that many people push aside as a daydream. This feeling isn't about being unpatriotic. It's about fairness. It's about financial control. You see the roads with potholes. You hear about government programs that don't seem to work. And you see your own savings account struggling to grow. It makes you question the entire system. What if you could step outside of that system, but still remain an American citizen? What if you could live in a place with warm beaches and a different set of rules? A place where the federal income tax on your local earnings simply disappears. Most Americans believe that death and taxes are the only two certainties. We're taught from a young age that the IRS will always get its share. It's a fundamental rule of American life. But what if I told you that for over a century, a small group of American citizens have lived under a different reality? They live on American soil. They use American dollars. They carry American passports. But when it comes to the IRS and their locally sourced income, they have a special arrangement. An arrangement that could change your financial future forever. What would you do if you knew about this secret? What if I told you there are places you can move to as an American citizen where you might not have to pay any federal income tax? This isn't a trick. It's not a loophole for the super rich. It's a reality for Americans living in certain U.S. territories. These are islands you might know from vacation brochures: Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and American Samoa. They are part of the United States. But their relationship with the federal tax system is completely unique. It's a relationship that allows you to legally reduce your federal tax burden to zero on income earned there. For decades, this has been one of America's best-kept secrets. Most people assume that if you are a U.S. citizen, you owe U.S. federal income tax no matter where you live. For the most part, that's true. If you move to France or Japan, you still have to file with the IRS. But these 5 territories are different. They are not states. They are not foreign countries. They occupy a unique space in the American legal system. This special status allows them to offer incredible tax incentives to attract residents and businesses. It's a powerful tool for their local economies. Think about what that means. Imagine your income, but without the federal tax bracket of 24%, 32%, or even 37% being subtracted from it. The money you earn from a local job, a local business, or certain local investments could be yours to keep, free from the reach of the IRS. Of course, it's not a total free-for-all. You will likely pay local taxes to the territory's government, but these local taxes are often much lower. For high-income earners, the difference can be life-changing. It's the kind of financial freedom most people only dream about. So why isn't everyone doing this? That's the big question. The answer is complicated. It requires a major life change. It means leaving the mainland behind. It involves navigating a different culture, a different cost of living, and a different set of challenges. It's not a simple decision. But for a growing number of entrepreneurs, remote workers, and retirees, the answer is yes. They are packing their bags and heading for these islands. They are seeking not just sunshine and sand, but financial sovereignty. We wanted to know why. To understand how this is possible, we have to go back in time. Way back. To the end of the Spanish-American War in 1898. After the war, the United States acquired several overseas territories, including Puerto Rico and Guam. This created a legal puzzle. Were people in these territories full U.S. citizens? Did the U.S. Constitution apply to them in the same way it did to someone in Ohio? A series of famous Supreme Court cases, known as the Insular Cases, tried to answer this. The court decided that these were unincorporated territories. They belonged to the U.S., but were not fully a part of it. This legal distinction had huge consequences, especially for taxes. The core idea was that Congress had to treat these territories differently. This led to the creation of what are called mirror code tax systems in some territories and unique tax laws in others. The foundation for all of this is found in the U.S. Internal Revenue Code itself, specifically Section 933 for Puerto Rico, and Section 932, 934, 935, and 936 for the other territories. These aren't loopholes. They are specific sections of federal law written by Congress that create these tax benefits. Section 933, for example, is very clear. It states that an individual who is a bona fide resident of Puerto Rico for an entire taxable year can exclude the income they earn from sources within Puerto Rico from their U.S. federal taxes. You don't even have to file a U.S. federal tax return if all your income is from Puerto Rico. For other territories like the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, and the Northern Mariana Islands, the system is a bit different. They have mirror codes. This means their local tax law is a mirror image of the U.S. Internal Revenue Code, but you pay your taxes to the local government instead of the IRS. This system wasn't created to help wealthy mainlanders avoid taxes. It was designed to help the territories develop their own economies. By allowing them to control their own tax systems, Congress gave them a tool to attract investment and create jobs. For decades, these laws were mainly used by big corporations. But with the rise of remote work and a more mobile workforce, individuals are now discovering these long-standing laws. They are realizing that a legal framework, created over 120 years ago, could be their ticket to a new financial life. It's a fascinating intersection of history, law, and personal finance. So how does this work in practice? Let's break it down, territory by territory. Each one is a little different, so paying attention to the details is key. We'll start with the most popular destination, Puerto Rico. Under its famous Act 60, new residents can apply for incredible incentives. If you qualify for the Individual Resident Investor Tax Incentive, your interest, dividends, and capital gains can be 100% tax-free. For business owners, the Export Services Tax Incentive can lower your corporate tax rate to a flat 4% on income from services provided to clients outside of Puerto Rico. This is a game changer for consultants, digital marketers, and other remote service providers. Next, let's look at the U.S. Virgin Islands, which include St. Croix, St. John, and St. Thomas. The USVI uses a mirror code system. You still fill out a Form 1040, but you file it with the USVI's Bureau of Internal Revenue, not the IRS. The real magic happens with their Economic Development Commission program. If your business qualifies, you can get a 90% reduction in your corporate and personal income taxes. You can also get exemptions on property taxes and gross receipts taxes. This program is aimed at creating jobs, so it's best for people who plan to start a business and hire local employees. Then we have Guam and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Both of these Pacific territories also use a mirror code system. Like in the USVI, bona fide residents file their tax returns locally. They pay taxes on their worldwide income to the local tax authority. The benefit here is that you are outside the U.S. federal tax system. While they don't have programs as aggressive as Puerto Rico's Act 60 or the USVI's EDC, they have their own local incentives and a much lower cost of living in some areas. Their location also makes them a strategic base for business with Asia. Finally, there's American Samoa. Its tax system is unique and a bit more complex. It has its own separate tax code that is not a mirror of the US Code. It is the only territory where residents can still be subject to US federal income tax on certain income, making it less of a pure tax haven for high earners. However, it offers a different kind of wealth, a deep connection to Polynesian culture and a truly remote, off-the-grid lifestyle. For most people focused purely on tax savings, the other 4 territories offer a clearer path, but it remains an option on the table, part of this unique family of American islands. This all sounds amazing, right? But there's a catch, and it's a big one. You can't just buy a plane ticket, rent a condo for a few months, and expect to pay 0 federal tax. To get these benefits, you must become a bona fide resident of the territory. This is a legal term, and the IRS takes it very seriously. They have a specific set of tests to make sure you have truly moved and made the territory your home. You can't just pretend, you have to prove it. So, what does it take? The IRS uses 3 main tests to determine bona fide residency: the presence test, the tax home test, and the closer connection test. The presence test is the most straightforward. You generally need to be physically present in the territory for at least 183 days during the year. That's about half the year. There are some exceptions, but this is the main rule of thumb. The IRS tracks this. They know when you fly in and out. You can't cheat this test. You have to physically live there. Next is the tax home test. Your tax home is the main place where you work or conduct your business. It's your primary center of economic activity. If you move to Puerto Rico, but keep your main office and all your clients in Chicago, the IRS will argue that your tax home is still in Chicago. To meet this test, you need to genuinely move your work life to the territory. That might mean opening a local office, hiring local staff, or shifting your client base. For a remote worker, it means your desk, your computer, and your daily operations are based in your new island home. Finally, and most importantly, is the closer connection test. This is more subjective. The IRS looks at all the little details of your life. Where is your family? Where do you vote? Where is your car registered? Where do you have your main bank accounts? Where do your prized possessions, like family photos and pets, live? You must show that you have a stronger connection to the territory than to the mainland or any other place. It means truly integrating into the community. You join local clubs. You get a local driver's license. You become a regular at the local coffee shop. You're not a visitor anymore. You're a resident. Let's stop talking in theory. Let's talk about real numbers. Cold, hard cash. This is where the power of this move becomes crystal clear. We created a hypothetical scenario to see what the savings could look like. Imagine you are a freelance software developer living in a high-tax state like Oregon. You are single and you earn $300,000 a year. On the mainland, after federal and state income taxes, you might take home around $195,000. That means over $100,000 of your hard-earned money is gone. It's a tough pill to swallow. Now, let's say you decide to make the move. You become a bona fide resident of Puerto Rico and qualify for Act 60's Export Services Incentive. Your business provides services to clients based in the United States. Under this decree, your business income is taxed at a flat rate of 4%. Suddenly, your tax bill on that $300,000 is just $12,000. Your take-home pay jumps to $288,000. That's an extra $93,000 in your pocket every single year. Think about what you could do with that money. You could pay off debt, invest for retirement, or start another business. Let's take another example. You are a couple nearing retirement. You've saved well, and your portfolio of stocks and bonds generates about $200,000 a year in dividends and capital gains. If you live in Florida, a state with no income tax, you would still owe federal taxes on that investment income. This could easily be $30,000 or more, depending on the type of income. But what if you move to Puerto Rico and qualify for the Individual Resident Investor Incentive? Under that program, your tax on that $200,000 of investment income would be zero. Absolutely nothing. These aren't lottery winnings. This is the direct result of a calculated life decision based on established law. The savings are dramatic and immediate. For high-income earners, especially those with portable businesses or significant investment income, the financial argument is almost impossible to ignore. It's the difference between building wealth slowly and accelerating your financial independence by years or even decades. The numbers are so compelling that it forces you to ask, what is the catch? And as you'll see, there are a few. Living on an island and saving a fortune on taxes sounds like a perfect dream. But here's where we have to be honest. It's not always paradise. There are significant trade-offs. The first and most obvious is the cost of living. While you save on taxes, many other things are more expensive. Almost everything you buy, from groceries to cars to furniture, has to be shipped to the island. Those shipping costs are passed directly on to you. A gallon of milk or a box of cereal can cost significantly more than you're used to paying on the mainland. Electricity bills can also be shocking, as many islands rely on expensive imported oil for power. Then there is the reality of nature. These territories are located in the Caribbean and the Pacific for a reason. They are in the path of hurricanes and typhoons. Hurricane season is a serious, yearly threat. A major storm can knock out power for weeks or even months. It can damage your home and disrupt your life in ways people on the mainland can't imagine. We saw this with Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico and Hurricane Irma in the US Virgin Islands. Rebuilding can be slow, and the infrastructure is often more fragile than what you're used to. It's a risk you have to be willing to accept. There are also limitations on federal benefits. This is a crucial point many people overlook. If you move to a territory, you may not be eligible for the same level of federal support. For example, residents of Puerto Rico and other territories generally do not qualify for the Supplemental Security Income, or SSI program, which provides aid to low-income seniors and disabled individuals. While you still pay into Social Security and Medicare, the local healthcare systems can be underfunded and overcrowded. You may find yourself flying back to the mainland for specialized medical procedures. Finally, there's the culture shock and the island fever. Life moves at a different pace. Things can be less efficient. A simple trip to the DMV or a call to get your internet fixed can become an all-day affair. This is often called island time. For some, it's a welcome relief from the hustle of mainland life. For others, it's a source of constant frustration. You are also on a small piece of land. After a while, you might feel a bit trapped. The novelty can wear off, and you may find yourself missing the convenience and variety of life back home. These are the hidden costs of that tax-free income. So, who is this move really for? Does it make sense for everyone? The answer is no. The decision depends heavily on your career, your family situation, and your personality. Let's look at a few different types of people. First, the digital nomad or remote entrepreneur. For this group, the territories, especially Puerto Rico, are almost a perfect fit. If you can run your business from a laptop and your clients are off-island, you can directly benefit from incentives like Act 60's 4% corporate tax rate. You have the freedom to meet the 183-day presence test while still traveling. It's a lifestyle that combines work, travel, and massive tax savings. What about retirees? For them, the picture is more mixed. The appeal of paying zero tax on investment income is huge. A retiree living off dividends and capital gains could see their nest egg last much longer. The warm weather is also a big plus. However, healthcare is a major concern. As we get older, we need more reliable access to doctors and hospitals. The healthcare systems in the territories may not be up to the standard that many retirees expect. They have to weigh the financial benefits against the potential health risks and the distance from family on the mainland. Now think about a young family with children. This is perhaps the most challenging scenario. A family has to think about schools, pediatricians, and activities for their kids. While there are excellent private schools in the territories, they can be expensive. Public schools are often under-resourced. You also have to consider being far away from grandparents and cousins. The benefits of tax savings are real, but a family must decide if the island lifestyle is the right environment to raise their children. It's a huge decision that goes far beyond money. Ultimately, this move favors those with high incomes and high mobility. It's for people who are financially successful but feel trapped by a high tax burden. It's for those who have an adventurous spirit and are not afraid of change. If you are a W-2 employee at a company with no presence in the territories, this won't work for you. Your income is tied to your mainland job. But if you have the ability to create your own income stream or bring your job with you, a door opens. A door to a completely different life. You just have to be the right kind of person to walk through it. We've looked at the history. We've looked at the law. We've looked at the numbers. We've also looked at the real-world challenges. The possibility of living as an American citizen while legally eliminating your federal income tax on local earnings is not a fantasy. It is a real choice, available to you right now. It's written into our nation's laws. For over a century, these islands, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and American Samoa, have offered a different path. A path that is now being discovered by a new generation of pioneers. This is not a decision to be taken lightly. It's not a weekend trip. It requires careful planning, professional advice, and a deep, honest look at your own life and priorities. You need to talk to tax attorneys and financial advisors who specialize in this area. They can help you navigate the complexities of the bona fide residency tests and the specific incentive programs. You need to do your research, read blogs, watch videos, and talk to people who have actually made the move. Learn about the good, the bad, and the unexpected. Before you even think about packing a single box, you should visit. Spend a few weeks or even a month in the territory you are considering. Don't stay at a resort. Rent an apartment in a real neighborhood. Go grocery shopping. Drive in rush hour traffic. Try to get a simple task done. See what daily life is really like, not what the travel brochures show you. Can you see yourself living there, day in and day out? Is the financial reward worth the lifestyle trade-offs? Only you can answer that question. So now, the final question is the one we always ask. What would you do? We've shown you the scene. We've given you the facts. You see a system that allows you to keep significantly more of your own money. But you also see the sacrifices it requires. The distance from home, the higher cost of goods, the risk of storms. It's a choice between financial security and personal comfort, between the familiar and the unknown. For some, the answer will be a clear no. The risks are too high. But for others, a seed of curiosity has been planted. A new possibility has emerged. The American dream might just be waiting for you on an island you never expected.